gets me into my head.
Councillor Russell?
I'll make a motion that we, whoever they are, that we write a letter to them asking them for a proposal to come from the council. So that we can
They've already referred to the trails committee, so, and that's good too, so, yeah, we'll ask them to come back and make a proposal.
Well, I have to, yeah, we need a staff report, I
I was
guess.
just gonna say,
Or we
let's
do.
sit down with staff first before, and then we don't put the,
Yeah,
let's have them
back-
sit down with staff and they can work out a thing that comes to council, and then we don't have to go back and say, now we got a staff report, right?
I think it has to go through staff. I don't know what the
Probably
long-term
the best way
plans
to do
are
it, yeah.
for West Bazaar, as far as sewage plant and all of that capacity to change something over from, is there any implications with the Ministry of Environment or any of those issues? I think we need to have those questions answered, so if you're willing to do ask for a staff report on this initiative?
Yeah, I don't care, I just want to get it going because we can't make the decision.
Right.
I don't have a clue what it means transferring.
No.
Who's the staff?
I don't know. I just know.
Seconded by Deputy Mayor
I
Day.
need it for us.
Asking for a staff report on that.
But I think we direct them to the staff, right? We send something back to them saying we discussed it, maybe you do that, or does Carol do that, saying we've discussed it, please contact so-and-so.
Should be official at this point. And the agency will be.
Well, St. Clair has already applied for a grant for bushes and trees to go along Brush Road and in between the one spot is what they're saying.
On our property, on the lagoon property.
Yeah.
Staff know about that there's trees coming? I guess that's,
Well, they applied for a grant.
Trees. Okay.
hmm?
Okay, trees are coming.
Well, yeah, I guess that's what we need the report for, what's the process here? And that the motion is that we get a staff.
Whether we direct them to staff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't get that. That was done from St. Clair's. But that has been.
St. Clair came out to our property, applying for grant on our property, and they haven't contacted us.
Well, they did through CIB.
That's nice.
Okay, anyway, all in favor of the motion, we got a report? That's carried. Councillor Russell?
It is an aversion issue.
It's not?
It is. It is. It is. Does everybody know that the River Mountain Port Franks is pretty well been closed for the past 3 weeks? Everybody got that message? Good? Okay, so I don't know what the emergent issue is. There's a safety concern. Obviously, the season is pretty well done, but the fishermen are still fishing. Anyways, I didn't know how to deal with this. I thought I'd bring it up emergent. We have a motion from our councilor.
I can speak to the immediate issue. Like,
Yeah, just
obviously there's been an issue with the weather blowing sand in, and what Charlie's doing now, anybody who needs to get their boat out and get it, and a lot of them have to take it down to Sarnia and pull it out. He's making personal appointments with them to come down and dredge them out. So I think there's only a few boats left that need to go out and come in. He'll be back up later this week to get them in and out.
That gets to this year.
Well, and further to that would be that as simple as anything last year, we did put a little bit of money into maintenance beyond our whatever. We all know it was low water and we were getting reports through there. I just wonder in terms of waiting for the report, should we not be applying for permits immediately? For example, if we look at that sand situation down there right now, Charlie's not doing the job because he's actually been almost defeated by the low water as well as the tidal thing this year. He got behind by 3 weeks back in July. He didn't respond too well. And so what's happened is we've had a huge buildup on the Chicken Island side. And so what's happened in a very simple way is we've almost got to the point where you could stand on the shore with our equipment and start hauling sand over there. When we originally put the North Star in place, we originally dredged that right out and we made Chicken Island. This goes back a long time, but that's how much dredging had to be done there, so that our boat that we got from the federal government, we still had, but we don't have anybody running it, could actually make the channel. And as it came from the northwest, the sand this year, and with the low water, not enough flow, we all know there was no water this year. So there was that flow. So what was happening is Charlie, even though he was there, he was being defeated continually. So what he's got is he's behind the 8 ball completely now. He cannot solve the problem now. So what I'm getting to is this is emergent in the sense that if we have to go through what we went through last year, which is we don't have a permit, or everybody wanted a permit, but we didn't have a permit, I just think we should get permission for any permits to be immediately applied for. 2 weeks from now, we can get on that river. Just for everybody's information, because all the fishing's done, the spawning season's done, but you can't do that without a permit, can you? So every year we wait until next March, and after the other spawning, whatever. You see where I'm going? We always get into this catch-22 situation, so we're always behind the 8 ball. So this is the point was brought up, I don't know how to deal with this.
So you're asking for an update on this,
I think Brent's on top of it, I'm not, no criticism, he's kept me informed all along, I know what's going on, but it's almost to that point, with the low water and everything, that I'm not sure what we can do all beyond.
So do you want a motion to go for all applicable permits?
I think the permits have to be, John maybe could talk to that, because it is hard to get the dang things, I know that.
We're having somebody come up from Chatham.
there's M&Rs coming up from Chatham next week to meet with us about the ice management from our AMO meeting, our discussion at AMO
That tomorrow or next week?
next week.
Oh, sorry.
So we'll talk to them about that, find out what permits are there, conservation authority.
If in fact that would be good, then maybe what we could have from staff would be something in front of us while we're talking to the M&R, where we could say something, for example, like, we understand how difficult it is to get, but why couldn't we have, like they do with hunting licenses, that we have a permit there that automatically goes in on October every year, so, you know, it's like this missing the date or whatever, and then it gets, it puts the staff in an awkward position, because last year Peggy had a heck of a time. Yeah, narrow window exactly, and then the staff ends up going like this, because they're doing what the M&R is saying, right? They're doing it correctly, but they make the window so narrow that it becomes a pain in the butt, so I don't know. I do know that we got behind the 8 ball on this one, really.
We'll get an update on that. I don't know whether we need a motion to do that, or just have the update brought back to the next council meeting.
Because you're not gonna get a permit for this fall.
You indicated Alec Scott will be at this meeting next
Yep.
week, so hopefully together with the ministry people, they can.
Yep.
Does it actually have to come back to council to do something?
I think, I don't think so. I think we've asked staff to, there's a purpose there to have the harbor open.
The permit costs,
Hmm?
the permit costs money. What you're talking about is, we'd have to get out there with our barge and our long stick hoe next year and actually physically dredge them out, which is an increase. We're gonna pull out a lot of material, a lot higher costs, so you're looking at elevated costs for a business unit that's just barely self-funded.
Okay, we need to have a report on what it's gonna cost.
Do you have sort of something for us to take next week?
Pardon me?
Can you have something for us to take?
Probably not, that's,
Approximation?
we'd have to get out the sound and figure out how much material we need to pull out to reestablish a channel. That's gonna take a lot of time. I'd rather have Charlie's time dedicated to getting boats out than having him out there doing the sounding for us.
Councilor Bunce?
But that's going to, those costs are going to come under Councilor McGuire's motion, right?
That's part of his notice of motion was that how we deal with it, whether there needs to be a pier built or whatever, that's the.
Report, Frank.
That's,
Here we go again. Good.
the water keeps going down, nothing is going to,
Nothing to do.
And further to that point is the fact that as the water's gone down, as we talked about last spring during the budget deliberations, where you guys put $15,000 into very small remedial action, the amount of skags and stuff in that river, there's two of the large ones are in positions where we have underground cables, so we, you know, they've got caught up now, and it's, this is not a new thing, this is ongoing, and we do have, in this report today with the strategic plan, we did have a direction about the user pay through this. Anyways.
okay? No other council reports? Opportunity for public to seek clarification. Item on the agenda, business agenda, basically it was the strategic plan.
Number of
Mr.
things.
Sharon.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, through you to the deputy, in regard to Fernwood, Southcott Pines, and most of the subdivisions in that area, they have Schedule As, which are registered